Yeah, thanks for sharing because yeah, an interesting thing about our ADHD brain is that it is really hard for us to plan. I was just speaking to someone just now about that we are really bad at planning because we don't like to think too far ahead. If it's too far ahead in the future, it overwhelms us because there's too much details that are unknown that makes us overwhelmed, right? So definitely can relate to that. And I think what you mentioned about the skill set that you have around being organized, yeah, ADHDers, there's ADHDers who really thrive in being organized and having things in its place in its home, and there's ADHDers that are really good at that, and then there's ADHDers that are really bad at that, right? It doesn't mean that if you're good at that you don't have ADHD, but I think we just all have something that is a primary focus for us that we would say is the bottleneck. Is the thing that we struggle with the most. But what we're doing is we're actually hyper focusing on that lack so much that ends up amplifying that experience, making us more anxious, making us more a perfectionist, rejection sensitive, because we're putting hyper focus on our inability to be good at that thing, right? Because we thrive in a lot of other things. So we kind of want the same level for everything, right? And because we're not getting the same level on all of the things, we feel like there is it's like an emptiness of like, oh, I'm not good at that though. And then obviously we hyper focus on what we're not good at. And then we just downplay the stuff that we're very good at. You mentioned about being really good at the cleaning and really good at being able to support people who have ADHD around that side of things. And it's just being able to allocate time where you can not plan, but prep. Like preparation is the thing that we need to do as ADHDs. We need to be more prepared for taking on something versus planning it, because there's just too much things and too much details that we're not going to know yet. It's too soon for us to know a lot of these details that are just going to be spontaneous things that come up on the journey. We're going to be a risk taker. We're going to be impulsive in a moment, and that's going to unfold an amazing thing that we didn't see coming. We need to leave room for that. So that's why it's really hard for us to think about details, because most of our stuff that is unfolding in our life that's been really great things is a lot to do with how impulsive we were, or the risk taking that we did. So yeah, what I'd say for you is that what's going to be important around that goal that you shared, and it's a really good goal, really great goal, is just sitting down with the reset material that I shared with you in the course. It talks about breaking things up into goals, projects, and then signal. Just using that exercise to be able to create a goal for that, and what the first actual step would be around it. You did mention as well that time is an issue, right? We are time blind. So, of course, and another thing that you mentioned, oh, yeah, I forgot that. This is really important what you said here. You mentioned how because of the inconsistency in other areas, you feel like it's not worth going into something if you feel like you're not going to see it through because you've got enough evidence of you not seeing anything through. An interesting thing about that is that it's because you had a lot on your plate at the same time why you couldn't see things through. And it's important to just focus on one thing at a time, see that through, have a consistent cadence around that. And you've already got that showing up in your life already with your fitness. The way you're showing up for fitness is an example of that. You can see things through. You can be consistent. So just using that very same framework that you use for how you're going to take on this mountain walk, how you're doing your gym exercise routines, how you treat your home, and how you are very organized in the home and the cleaning and all this stuff. Just applying all those to obviously the things that you have constraints over as well.